The views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the policy or position of ONTV's management, staff, or board of directors.
Hello and welcome to About Town. My guest today is Molly LaLone, our DDA director. How are you doing today?
Very well. Thank you, Sarah, for having me today.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for making time for your schedule. All right. So, first things first. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Seattle, Washington.
You know, I was going to move there after law school. I love the weather.
It's beautiful there. It's very beautiful. We still have family members who live in the area. It's become very expensive. It's no longer easy to live in that area. It used to be we just kind of complained about the rain, but now there's a lot more to complain about and love. Always the same things to love. But and then we moved to Idaho and down to Southern California. And I would think probably it would be fair to say that most of my childhood was in Southern California near LA.
Wow. So why did you come to Michigan?
Well, all of the moves were because of my dad's job. He worked for General Motors and he kept getting promoted. And when you get promoted, you have the opportunity to go where they've promoted you to be.
Opportunity. I like that spin. I like that spin.
Yes. Yeah. So in my senior year, Dad got promoted to headquarters in Detroit, in Warren, Michigan. And so we went. We went in the middle of my senior year. That was horrible.
Was there anybody like you wanted to go to prom with that was gonna ask you, but then you moved?
I had a steady boyfriend that we were gonna have our lives with, but that worked out. It's okay. You know, if you're not really destined to be with somebody and you've moved several states away, it just makes it easier, right?
Yes. Well, I had a boyfriend going into college. I went to Michigan State. He went to U of M. Didn't work out. Oh. Too far. The distance was too far, and it was U of M. Anywho. So why don't you give us a brief summary of how you got to Lake Orion, because you're our Downtown Development Authority, the DDA director.
Yes, I am. Well, once I got married, we moved around a bit then, too, when I first got married right out of college. And then we ended up in Ortonville near Goodrich, kind of right on the line there. And my kids were going to Goodrich schools, and I was looking for a part-time job. And lo and behold, there was the part-time Downtown Development Authority position available in Ortonville. And I thought, well, part-time nearby, I'll go look at that. And
their DDA position was part-time?
At the time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. At the time. Yep, it was part-time. And
well, I just know all of the stuff you do that okay. Anyway, part-time?
Yes, it was part-time. And yes, so I worked part-time and logged all of my volunteer hours, which is not what a director really does, but volunteer hours, and just made the case every year to let's add a few more hours to what I work, because I'm definitely working them for you. So and it eventually became a full-time position there. Yeah, and it was just one of those things where I had created this is my perfect job environment, because back then that's what you did on your resumes. You kind of figure out what's your environment and where do you thrive, and you describe all of those things. And that's what I did. And when I went into the interview, they said, well, we're looking for, and they listed all the same things. And I said, listen, I wrote that in my resume, and you just told me that that's what the job description is, and I think this is a pretty good match, and I think we should try.
That's actually a really good response in an interview. I'm going to remember that one, even though I'm my own boss right now. But, okay, so you started off in Ortonville, and then you ended up in Lake Orion. What happened in between there?
In between, as I said, I went from part-time to full-time, and I also became a volunteer for the Michigan Downtown Association, which is a statewide downtown advocate support group for downtown management. And I worked I was the advocacy chair. I still am. I took a break and went back. And anyway, gave myself more experience, kind of kept broadening my scope. And then the position became available in Lake Orion, and I decided to apply.
And when was that?
That was in 2016.
Okay, so you've been with us for about 5 years.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right, so I probably should have asked this from the get-go. Can you describe what the DDA does? Because I know when I was when I didn't have a shop downtown, I had no idea. So,
Well, it's the Downtown Development Authority is a downtown management organization where the idea is we're going to take a specific investment, and it's always going to be pointed towards downtown management and downtown growth. And it happens to be tax incremented financing with the Downtown Development Authority. And there's a list of properties. And on those list of properties, the growth from when the DDA starts to now, the growth belongs to the DDA. That's the investment agreement with the municipality.
okay. And what kind of things, programs, et cetera, pre-pandemic, because we'll get into that, but pre-pandemic, what was the job of the DDA?
We are a nationally accredited Main Street program, and that means that we focus on 4 different areas of downtown management. One is promotion. How are we going to get people to pay attention to downtown and bring them downtown? The second is design. What does it look like when people arrive?
Yep.
The second is, or the third is economic vitality. We look at business recruitment and business retention and how we can encourage a healthy business mix and talk to property owners about that. And then the last one is organization, and that's who's doing all of this work and are we telling that story?
Gotcha. And then for during the pandemic, I know that it was crazy because it was, you didn't have a playbook for this one.
Oh, the rules kept changing. Yeah, we had plan A through M at one point, from if the government decides if our public gathering has to change, then we're either going to not do this event, or we're going to do the event this way, or we're going to open it up and do it this way. We had just a whole bunch for every single event that we did in downtown, we had lots of options available.
Gotcha.
We also very quickly figured out that what we needed to do is rebrand ourselves as an outdoor destination so that people could still come downtown and they'd feel safe here.
And there was the creation of the social districts.
Right. The state created the social district and the legislation for the social district, and the village and it starts out at the village level. It's always municipality based, that kind of legislation. So we started working on it right away, and we ended up being the first downtown in Oakland County to have a social district.
And where are the social districts? There's a couple, right, in downtown?
Well, all right. The social district itself is the perimeter, and within that perimeter, all of the restaurants that are inside the perimeter, they can apply for a social district permit to sell drinks that can be outside.
Okay.
Then there's a second layer, and the second layer is the commons area, social district commons area. And that is where we can, once we buy our drink, we get to hang out in the commons area. Okay. For Lake Orion, we decided to make it all of the sidewalks in downtown.
Gotcha. So
the sidewalks. Yeah.
I can grab a drink at Oat Soda, go on the sidewalk, have it. Can I drink it on the sidewalk?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, but I can't, pull something out of my purse and pour it in a cup and start drinking it.
No, please don't do that. I have a list here of do's and don'ts.
Okay. Well, I was going to just start randomly asking you. So I can't pull it out of my purse. What about my pocket? What if it's a flask? No, I'm kidding. Why don't you go ahead and read those, and I'll take a picture of that and post it with the podcast.
Okay. Please don't assume that every restaurant participates. Now, as it happens, we do have almost every restaurant participating.
Yeah, we just, at the last village council meeting.
You approved 9
Yeah,
restaurants.
Yes. There was a lot.
Yes. Yeah, there's 313 Pizza Bar, American Legion, Anita's Kitchen, Bitter Tom's Distillery, Fork and Pint, Johnny Black's Lake House, Oat Soda, Sagebrush Cantina, and wine social. So almost every restaurant in town, you can definitely go in there, but do not assume that every restaurant participates. Make sure. Do not bring your own beer. Once you have your cup, don't refill it. Please don't take your drink and go away and go somewhere else. You kind of need to stay within the social district when you're drinking your drink. You can throw out your drink and then leave, but please don't leave the social district while you're drinking.
And that's the perimeter of downtown.
And there are signs. There's signs that say social district commons area. And when you go past one of those signs, you're going out of the area. Really, when you're walking through downtown, when you are no longer in downtown, you're no longer in the social district. Just kind of keep it simple, sweet and simple. And once you buy a drink for the social district, it's for the social district. So what you buy there stays there. If you're going to walk into another restaurant, you need to get rid of that cup before you walk in.
Okay.
And this is not being picky. This is protecting those liquor licenses.
Right.
We're not being fussy. We're just protecting the businesses that we rely on. We rely on that, on the traffic that we get from those restaurants.
Yeah, because the LLC, right? Liquor licensing. Yeah,
Michigan Liquor Licensing.
They are
Commissions control. Yeah, whatever.
they do follow up on complaints and everything. So
They
please make sure that you follow those rules, and I will post those, like I said. You did say do. There is a list of do.
Yes, do ask your bartenders about the Lake Orion Social District. Do purchase your beverages from those permitted restaurants. Do enjoy your beverage in a social district cup out in town and downtown, anywhere where the social district is, and then enjoy our downtown shops, enjoy our restaurants, enjoy yourself in downtown. We're providing you lots of different options.
Yep. Well, we also have the Lake Orion live going on.
More outdoor fun. Yeah. Well, starting this month, we're going to have a DJ out in town. We started that last year just because we wanted to make sure we were entertaining everybody who was standing outside on the sidewalks, so they would stay longer. Because once a person stays longer, they're also more willing to go to a shop. So we wanted to do that. And so
then
that's
go get appetizer at one place, dinner at another, dessert at another.
Remember that you need to buy your mom or dad a present and dip into a shop and do that. Yes.
Yep.
Remember that you're out of soap. Go to Sarah's and get some really good soap.
Good plug. I did not pay Molly to do that. Okay. Okay, so
actually, let me just talk about your soap, though. Guys, I went in to Sarah and I said, I need goat's milk soap because, I'm a delicate flower and I need special soap. And she said, well, I don't have any, but I'll make you some. And then she proceeded to make me some in exactly what I asked for. She asked me about the scents. She asked me about oatmeal, colloidal oatmeal. She had to explain what that was. And then I said, yes, I'd like that. And
it's just powdered oatmeal. It's not. I had to Google that like 3 times before it stuck. So anyway,
and it's a really nice soap.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad
Thank you
like
very
it.
much. Yes.
And now you can use that citrus with the shower melts. I gotcha. So okay. So when are these the Thursday night? The DJ is going to be out Thursday nights?
Yeah, DJ is Thursday night. Last year, the other thing that we added that we are keeping is a First Friday concerts. So as you may or may not know, 20 Front Street is our live music venue. They bring in really beautiful talent into their 90-person auditorium, and they've been closed for over a year. We want them to stay. And at the DDA, we feel very strongly that is a unique characteristic of our downtown that we don't want to lose. So last year we talked to them about what they could do to help us with our concerts and what they would suggest for making our concerts a little bit more exciting. And what they said is, gosh, there are entertainers who up until March had a full schedule for the next 18 months, and now they don't have anything to do. Why don't we ask them if they could come and play Friday nights here in Lake Orion?
And that's the first Friday of every month?
First Fridays, yes. So that's how First Fridays Lake Orion Live concerts were born. The first one this year is going to be June 4th. It's going to be Philip Michael Scales. We're very excited. And then July 2nd, it will be On the Sun. August 6th, it will be the Moxie Strings. And then we're hoping to have another one in September. That'll be the last one. And that'll be September 3rd. So right on the cusp of the Labor Day weekend. That'll be really fun. And then our Wednesday Lake Orion live concerts are going to start on July 7th. And it'll be a local favorite, Steve Taylor 3. Those are all in the gazebo down in Children's Park. They all start at 6:30. We had what we started with last year's. We created 6-foot boxes that were 6 foot apart from other boxes. So families could come and they knew if they were inside the box that we had painted on the grass that they were safe and that the next person could come over and they could feel comfortable about having them next to them because they knew that we had measured everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we were compliance officers. I didn't know that was the title, but we were keeping track of attendance. We had little clickers. We had volunteers at all of the entrances, making sure that we didn't go over whatever the number was that week.
Yeah, yep, because that changed
It
a
did
lot.
change a lot, yes. It did.
All right, so what else is going on downtown in the next, let's say, May and June?
May and June. Well, we've got social district nights going on, and that is every Thursday night from 5 until 8. It is a promotional campaign where we, every Thursday, we're talking about the social district just to let people know that there is one because it's such a brand new concept. And also to celebrate all of the stores that are open after 5. And we really have quite a few that stay open after 5 o'clock, and people don't know that.
Yep.
So we want to really talk about all the places that stay open after 5. So on those Thursdays, we will have different promotions going on. For the ladies' night is always going to be the last Thursday, and except in June. The last Thursday in June is going to be men's night instead of ladies' night.
Yeah.
This month, we're going to be giving out flowers on ladies' night. If you go into a shop, you'll be able to get a flower for your lady. And men's night, it's going to be all about the guys, so it'll be different. And anyway, so there's something going on every Thursday night. The music will be starting May 21 and 22, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, or
Friday
around whatever Friday, Saturday is around there.
Is going to be Flower Fair. Fair. And Flower Fair traditionally was the weekend we just finished, Mother's Day weekend. And it the request from the public was that we change that to closer to Memorial Day. So that's what happened. Actually, it's the 21st and 22nd of May. That's a Friday and Saturday. This is now hosted by the Orion Arts Center, and they have an event company that's putting it on. They've got a retail event. When I say retail, I mean a store event where you can buy a ticket to go on a succulent plant search. And they give you a list of where the shops, of all the different shops, and you have to find all of them. And every time you go into a shop, you're going to get a cute little plant. And they give you a planter. And once you have all of your plants collected, you get to go and a plant gardener person shows you how to design your little planter.
I'm going to have my husband do that because I kill plants. It's quite embarrassing. Anyway, but I can't. I have a succulent still alive.
I was just going to say that. They're very hard to kill.
I mean, I've done it before, but this one has lasted for...
You're talented.
Yeah, I am very talented.
We have, my partner just really has a big heart, and I will decide that there's plants that are dead, and I try to get rid of them, and he sneaks them down into the basement. So there are succulents down in the basement that are getting no natural light, and they're happy. And it's his love. That's what it is, right?
Yep. Because if I did that, they'd be dead.
Well,
dead completely.
They should be dead. I mean, sometimes they should be dead, but things survive. So anyway, succulents are a great thing for beginners. They're great for beginners, and that'll be a lot of fun. I plan to buy a ticket for my mom to send her around to do that too. That'll be fun. Yeah. Over 100 vendors, entertainment. They're doing a man cave of some sort. I hope to hear more about it Thursday morning when we talk to businesses about the flower fair during the business power hour. So we'll hear more soon.
All right. Well then. Okay. So.
And that's May. That gets us through
Yeah.
May.
That through May.
That gets us through May.
That's a lot. That's a lot to digest. So we'll get there. We got Dragon Lake and all that other stuff, but for now, we'll focus on May.
Jubilee's coming back in June.
Jubilee, yeah.
Jubilee's coming back. That's the carnival rides and through the center of town. That's going to be at the end of June. They were not able to do that last year, so everyone's been missing it. June 26th is going to be the fireworks. Now, in the past, we've had 2 different dates for fireworks and 2 different shows, and this year it's going to be one big show on June 26th.
The dueling fireworks again?
I don't know if it's going to be dueling fireworks. I think it's just going to be one really big show. I
love those because, it was very convenient for us where we live on the lake to watch both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was great. But 2 of my 3 dogs are bird dogs. My husband hunts with them. Well, one's retired. But anyway, so whenever there's fireworks, some dogs have to have, doggy Xanax.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're looking at the sky wondering when the bird's going to fall.
When it's going to fall.
And then my Great Dane Steve is a big hot mess. He is so scared when those happen. So he needs basically like a horse tranquilizer to calm him down.
See, I grew up reading Marmaduke in the comic strip,
Mm-hmm.
In the paper on Saturday. And I think that Steve and Marmaduke are the same dog.
Oh God.
And I mean, because I've met Steve because he used to live in your store.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But Great Danes are very odd dogs. But on the spectrum of being less odd to being more odd than most, he's right in the middle. He's not like an outlier at all. He's not an extremist. So just imagine how weird they can actually get.
Oh my goodness.
Anyhow.
Such a character.
Yes.
Good
Do
job.
you have any pets?
I have a cat, and her name is Bagheera. And her name is Bagheera. She actually looks, so this is a Jungle Book name, and she actually looks more like Shere Khan. She's, an orange, long-haired, stripy, brownie, stripy. She's beautiful. Obviously, she's beautiful. All cats are pretty beautiful. But she's a girl, and we did not think she was vicious because she looked so cute. Turns out she's vicious. So actually, Shere Khan, fits her personality and her coloring. But we named her Bagheera instead, which is like the black cat, I think, isn't it, in the Jungle Book?
It's been a long time since I watched the Jungle Book.
Yeah, I think it's the black cat, and she's not a black cat, but she's a great, very, very friendly. She's very friendly. She comes over and she says hello to everybody, and somewhere in the middle of all the petting, she just decides to chomp on someone's hand. Yep. Not hard, but it's, people aren't used to being chomped on by cats.
Well, no, they had enough. They like their love, and then they have had enough.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with cats. We had, a lot of cats. And actually, I had a cat through law school who used to, sit on my papers.
Of course. Yes, of course.
And so when Brad...
Pattern weight, that's what we call those.
Yes. Just reminding me of, I needed to take a chill pill every once in a while. And lounge like a cat, but or give him attention. And he was an orange tabby. My sister actually found him in an alley in Dearborn being chased by a rat that was bigger than him.
Oh,
yes.
Definitely needs saving.
And I walk in, I'm like, she had already rescued a cat. I'm like, that's mine. I will take him after I'm out of the graduate dorms because I didn't get my act together and I didn't get an apartment, so I had to live in the graduate dorms. Anyway, but Azar actually passed away. He was a very sick kitty about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. And I told my husband, Brad, I'm like, you know what? We were always cat people. We didn't have a dog. I have a secret. I want a huge, explicit dog. And he's like, how huge? I'm like, big.
Oh, goodness.
Irish Wolfhound big. And he's like, no. I'm like, we went back and forth for about 2 months, and then we settled on a Great Dane because they're the second largest, but the largest dog in the world has consistently been a Great Dane. So, but we went from our cat to Steve, our cat Azar to Steve.
Oh, goodness.
And it was a transition, but it was a good one. Anyhow.
Yeah. So our cat was rescued, and I've had several dogs that have been rescued, and we just lost our baby recently during the pandemic. She passed away, but yeah, we rescued that dog from and it was kind of a gift more than a rescue, but our neighbors were moving, and they were moving to some place where they weren't allowed to have large dogs, and this dog had been our friend over the fence for years, and we said, well, of course she needs to come and live with us.
Oh,
So,
well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. But I am sorry for your loss. It seems like a lot of people have been adopting dogs over the pandemic and cats. So
lots of puppy dog walking I see in my
Yes.
neighborhood. Yeah.
well, and you're in Rochester.
I live in Rochester
Yep.
Hills. Yeah.
Yep. I used to volunteer at Leader Dogs for the Blind.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Before I opened the store, I got to play with the 6-week-old puppies.
Mm.
That was like therapy. I probably should have been paying them. But no, there's a lot of dog walkers in downtown Lake Orion.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that the Leader Dogs of the Blind trainers, they come with their van and their puppy dogs, and they actually do some training in downtown Lake Orion?
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, if you want to see them, they come in the morning, like around 10 o'clock, and they park in the Children's Park parking lot, and then they go traveling all through our neighborhoods.
Yeah. Well,
So,
fantastic
likes
program.
dogs. Yeah.
Fantastic program.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump back a couple of conversations ago. You
Mhm.
mentioned you had kids.
Oh, I
I've
do.
met your daughter.
Mhm.
And who
Alice.
else?
Yes. My son Philip is a Marine, and he is stationed in California right now. And it is 42 days until he is no longer on active duty.
Oh, yes. I remember you telling me this one.
Yeah, and he's not been home for over a year and a half, and we all miss him very much. And but it's a little scary having him come home because, if you are a personality that is going to be a really, really good Marine, you're also a little bit crazy in normal society. And we all love all of the people that we have in our lives, but us adults are slightly nervous about what's going to happen when my daughter and my son get back together. My daughter's so excited. She's like, just wait. You won't believe what we're going to do. Are you ready? And we're like, now that you mention it, no, we're not ready.
So party on, Wayne. Oh, no. No, that's awesome. That's fantastic that he's coming home. Where was he deployed anywhere?
He was in Afghanistan. Yes, he was
Gotcha.
there. Yeah.
How long was he there for?
Around a year. He was not stationed. He was doing what they call a temporary duty, but he was there for a long time. I mean, to me, it was just felt decades. Felt like decades, and especially when he would call and say, "Mom, I'm going to Baghdad," and my leader, my superior, told me I needed to call and talk to everybody before I left. And I think, oh, that's not good.
Wow.
I don't want to hear that.
No.
No. And he always, and he called when he got, like, I'm back in base now. Everything's okay. So, they were telling us. And I know that we were communicating on special lines so that it couldn't be picked up. I don't know how they keep the military safe these days. I'm very grateful for the IT people who keep our military confidential and safe, because that's got to be hard.
And that is all, like, I don't even can begin to understand all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And your daughter?
My daughter's in Ohio. She works for the Boy Scouts. She's a district director down there, and she, is the one who coordinates all of the troops, make sure that those troops are following the Boy Scout guidelines and getting all of their requirements done on time. And she does the fundraising. She does all that stuff. She has a biology degree, and working out with the kids in the woods has just been a lot of fun for her.
Yeah. I was a Girl Scout for like 5 months just to sell cookies. Just to sell cookies. I was kind of no, I wasn't kind of. I was a little butterball when I was in 5th grade, and I just really wanted to sell cookies. So
they're really good cookies. It's worth selling for sure.
Have you tried the new ones? The there's s'mores. Not the Samoas, the s'mores. Don't. I ate the whole package.
You ate the whole thing? Oh, gosh. All right. So s'mores. I think that the best way to have a toasted marshmallow, how do you eat those? Toasted marshmallows.
I mean, I prefer, like, pretty brown, a little crispy, starting to burn.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I don't have the patience to wait for that perfect, and
I
so
see.
I just let it burn and then blow it out.
Aha. Okay. Well, sure. So we all toast our marshmallows the way we toast them, right? What do you do afterwards?
Put it between the
Graham crackers
and the chocolate.
and the chocolate? Okay. Well, this is my suggestion
Uh-huh.
to the whole world. Dip it in a rum chata and then put it in your mouth and eat it, or put it between the graham crackers. But really, the rum chata is what makes the marshmallow the best thing ever.
For those 21 and over.
Yes.
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 I will have
Yes.
to try that. I will have to try that.
It's really good.
I'm
not sure I can eat marshmallows, toasted marshmallows anymore if I don't have rum chata around. I think that's a great thing. Or the rum, Coco Loco, anything, the cream with the
cream,
with the
yeah.
booze and a marshmallow. It's really good because you got a hot marshmallow that's got a little bit of crispiness on the outside
Mm-hmm.
and is melting on the inside, and then you stick it in and it just soaks up everything, and it still has that texture. It's wonderful.
I'm gonna have to try that. Now we know that you're a experimental chef.
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask you 3 random questions,
Mhm.
and then as a thank you for answering them, or playing along, you can ask me one. So I'm going to just grab 3. So I'll ask you 2, and then you can ask me 1. Then I'll ask you the last one.
Okay.
All right. Random question number 1. What was one thing that made you smile last week?
Watching my family try to talk to my son via video chat and getting all caught up in the enhancements. They put crowns on themselves and they give themselves bunny ears and forgot to talk to my son.
Gotcha.
That made me smile.
Well, was this for Mother's Day?
Yeah, that was for Mother's Day.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything else for Mother's Day?
Normally we go to Rochester Mills.
Mhm.
For years, we've gone to Rochester Mills, and they have their 4 pool tables that they convert into buffet tables. And one of the buffet tables is chocolate and dessert, and one of the buffet tables is smoked fish. And I just pretty much exist in those 2 tables. There are other tables that I don't care about. That's what we normally do,
Mhm.
and we could not do that this year. So my mom and I had a beer, and we talked about what we liked about that buffet, and then we decided to go buy that stuff, and that's what we had for our Mother's Day brunch that lasted all day.
Well,
But,
that's an actual good swap there. I'm
Mhm.
concerned about there's not going to be buffets really for a while. The only reason why I go to Vegas is for buffets. It's not like I've been there a lot. I've been there twice, and each time I find the good buffet.
All right. So can you imagine what Las Vegas must look like during a pandemic? We are currently hiring 2 positions. We've got 2 part-time positions that are open. One is the administrative coordinator and one is the events coordinator. While I was interviewing somebody for the events position who had just moved back home to Michigan from Las Vegas, and she was describing walking down the strip, and absolutely nothing's there. And they had to board up the doors because the doors didn't have locks on them because Las Vegas is never closed. Can you imagine the picture she painted? I thought,
I never thought of it that way.
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense, but
Mhm.
because the casinos are open 24/7.
They never closed, except they had to during the pandemic. So that was enormous.
All right. So, random question number 2. What movie, book, or play influenced you the most?
The Lord of the Rings series, for sure.
And what about that?
Yes. Well, I don't know. There's wizards and there's hobbits, and the hobbits have little houses that have beautiful flowers all around them, and they love food, and they have, first breakfast and second breakfast, and I just relate with all that.
Uh-huh.
They love beer. I do. I love beer. I love it when people, have a big, nice stick and they stomp and they say, "You shall not pass." All of that drama is awesome. And, I read all the books and then I read all the books again and then I read all the books again. And then the movies came out and then I watched all the movies and I watched them again. So
How do you think the movies stack up to the books?
they did okay. They did all right. I believe every single time that you're going to get more from a book than you are from a movie because your brain has better imagination for your body than a movie director's imagination does. But the movies were pretty good.
There's this one scene, and it was so quick, but I thought it was like just fantastic. The elf, what's his name? The younger elf.
The blonde elf?
Yes.
Okay.
Long.
We can go with the blonde elf, right? The blonde.
No, he's a
Prince
very
elf?
the very popular actor.
Mhm.
It's gonna come to
I'm
me.
not good at that.
Young guy,
Mhm.
married to Katy Perry, or partners with her right now. Anyway,
Mhm.
he just it's during a battle scene,
Mhm.
and another one of the ring guys is riding him with the horse, and he just grabs it and then flips over and then sits on the back of the horse. It was just like 2 seconds, but I'm like, that's awesome.
Did you want to have a horse when you were younger?
No, I was not one of the Lisa Ann, or was that what it's called? No, Lisa Ann's the salon next to me. The the sticker company, the cutesy little stickers. Anyway, they had
Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank, thank you.
Frank. Yes.
Sorry, Lisa. I wasn't one of those girls who would do the stickers and then dream about having a pony or a horse. It was what it was. I went to farm camp at Upland Hills for a couple summers, and after riding the horses there, and we would have draft horse day. You walking around like a cowboy. I'm like, you know what? I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
My grandpa had a horse. We had a farm. This was back in Washington State, and when I was between 11 and 14, when I'd get to go back and visit, I would ride that horse bareback, and I did not know. I just was riding. I did not know it was as awesome as it was because I grew up, just playing with the horses. Anyway.
But you couldn't ride bareback?
No, I can't anymore, but I could when I was 12 because I didn't know it was hard. So I just would ride, and then at some point somebody's like, how'd you stay on that horse? I'm like, I don't know. I just stayed on the horse.
Yeah. It's amazing. If you never thought, if somebody never told you, oh, that's really hard, or you shouldn't be doing that. I wonder how many things we would actually be continuing to do and doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. All right. Is that right side up?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you ask me that one.
What movie, Sarah, have you seen multiple times?
Oh, I've already answered that one.
Oh.
Okay. It was,
so for the listening audience, we are going to have
pick
question
another
number
one.
2.
Because that one was Beauty and the Beast, and I already talked about that with Jerry.
What was one thing that made you smile last week? Well, you didn't answer that question. I did, but you didn't.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. My husband made me breakfast in bed for Mother's Day.
Do you have children, Sarah?
No, I know I'm a dog mom. Dog mom. But our dogs, our Ginzy and Soto, got sick a couple years ago, and for 2 weeks they were having diarrhea, and this was 2 weeks before Mother's Day, and so I was when our Soto's an English setter, so she has feathering, so I would go out there and wipe them down after they, had some digestive issues, and after about a week and a half of this, I walk in, I'm like, Brad, I'm wiping butts, and moms wipe butts. And so you're taking me to brunch this weekend.
For Mother's
Day. And so ever since then,
makes sense.
We've celebrated Mother's Day with a brunch. But so he brought breakfast up, and then Steve decided to, you can always hear him bust through the baby gate when he wants to come upstairs, and sounds like just a herd of elephants running up the stairs. And then he was pouting because we won't give him human food. So he's just sitting on our bed, looking at us And it was very cute.
When he sits, does he have his feet on the floor and put his butt on the mattress, or does he climb all the way up?
He climbs all the way up. He does that with the couches.
I think that is the funniest thing. The pictures of those dogs, just with their butt and everything, their paws are on the ground. Just the scale of those dogs. They're so long-legged.
Yep.
Amazing. What are the other two dogs? What kind of breeds are they?
English setter and a black lab.
Ah.
Yep. Our black lab is getting up there in age, so she's retired from hunting, but she's still, labs, they're happy-go-lucky all the time.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
All right. Last random question. Have you ever screamed in terror only to find out that it was really nothing?
Yeah, let me go back to my children. My children think of ways to get me to scream. So all the time, always. And I can't even tell you, I've been so traumatized by this whole thing. I just know if my children are in the room and they are talking together, that there's something up, and it's going to be, I'm their best target because I'm dramatically scream or whatever I do. Plus I'm mom. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you remember one, for instance? I know if it's happened a lot, it's hard to pick out one time.
Well, I don't know. My son used to decide to, he'd be in the house and he'd decide to sneak out of the house and then break back into the house by climbing into windows.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And one time, I got better at listening, but one time he managed to sneak in such a way that he really landed on top of me, and I really didn't know he was, I must have been asleep. I don't know. I must have been asleep on the couch or something, because he literally landed on me, and that's made my hair turn this color.
Well, I actually noticed your hair a week ago, and I really like it. I was trying to go like that, the silvery white, but it never, if you don't have it, it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay.
No,
very well.
It doesn't. I wanted to, I've colored my hair for up until now. For a long time, I colored my hair. And for one thing, silver hair does not want to be colored. It doesn't want to keep the color. Mm-hmm. But that also, and then when you add silver doesn't want to stay. So here I have this gorgeous silver hair that I would love to grow out. And I just wanted to have silver dye on the part that wasn't silver, that had been dyed. And the hairdresser said, okay, your hair is not going to do that. You're going to have it for like a week or two, and it's going to be the same amount of damage. So you can't just do it every week. You have to give it a break. Anyway, so this was changing my hair color was the best part that came out of the pandemic for me.
I decided to grow mine out, and now I got it in a ponytail now. Mm-hmm. It's like this bit of a ponytail, but yeah. And I decided to,
because it was very short. It was kind of shaved almost on the back there. Yep. Yeah.
So it's really fun though, because I can now go downtown with the mask on and everything incognito. Nobody knows who I am. It's great. Okay.
I know who you are.
Well, yes. And until I open my mouth.
No, I can tell who you are. Well, it's okay though. Some people can't tell.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of people we don't recognize when we have masks on.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, we have a few more minutes left. Is there anything else you would like to bring up, either DDA or personal or whatever?
Well, regarding the DDA, I just want to tell everybody that working in downtown Lake Orion is really fantastic. And being able to support a downtown that is supported by a community like Lake Orion is amazing. Mm-hmm. And, when in a downtown organization, to support a downtown, you want to really you want to look at what it's going to take to make a community thrive and a downtown thrive. And we've got all of these physical assets with the trail comes into town, and we've got the lake, and now they've added boat docks, so you can literally be on the lake and decide to go downtown and on your boat and just come downtown.
I think those crosswalks are fantastic, because we used to just have to run across after parking and just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the crosswalk makes a huge difference. Adding that social district so everyone can wander around town and enjoy themselves. regardless of what their comfort level is. You know, we all have friends that are maybe different levels of comfort, and you can still hang out if you're in downtown Lake Orion. All the shops, when we started talking in the middle of February, we started talking about wanting to really promote the stores that would be open after 5. And everybody got on board and said, okay. I mean, you know, everyone where that worked for them, they all got on board. All of those stores got on board and participated. There's a lot of teamwork that happens in downtown Lake Orion, and that all of that stuff, everybody working together, it makes it easier for us to create an environment. I mean, that is the environment that helps our businesses thrive. And but all of that making a great environment, it doesn't work unless we have a community that wants to come and play and dine and gather in the downtown. And we also have that in Lake Orion. So I just wanted to give my love.
So the website for the DDA,
downtownlakeorion.org.
and then Facebook.
Lake Orion DDA, or at Downtown Lake Orion.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on today. Thank you so much. And we will see you guys about town.